glad to be of assistance.
Thanks for doing this, Henrik. I do appreciate it.
Not at all. A hiatus hernia is not something to be taken lightly.
And you're doing the procedure yourself?
Wouldn't have it any other way. I understand there's a board meeting scheduled for later today.
Count yourself lucky you'll be too busy to attend.
Terence?
I just thought I'd pop in, you know.
Oh, that's very sweet of you, Terence. No flowers?
You remember Mr. Hanssen, of course?
Oh, how could I forget? Lovely to see you again, Henrik.
Mrs. Cunningham?
Oh, so formal. Besides, I'm travelling incognito.
Yeah, we wouldn't want anyone to think that we were receiving any special attention.
Oh, but we are, Terence, with Henrik on board.
Yeah, Ella was very excited to know that you'd be leading the operation, so no pressure.
No, I have every confidence in him, which is why I've decided to have the procedure done laparoscopically.
Yeah, that's not a problem, is it, Henrik?
It's unorthodox, but it's not unheard of.
Well, I give your people on Darwin a chance to show you what they're made of.
Quite. Miss Shah will be with me. I'm certain she's up to the task.
Miss Shah? Oh, and there was I thinking it would be just the two of us.
Well, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the skill, professionalism, and indeed discretion of our cardiothoracic registrars.
Don't need another one.
Miss Shah, I have a sliding hiatus hernia patient that requires CT oversight. Wonder if you'd be interested in assisting me.
My workload's rather light at the moment.
I'll see you in the consult.
Henrik, you brought a chaperone, you cautious thing, you.
Hello, this is Miss Shah.
Of course.
Miss Shah's well versed in laparoscopic techniques.
Bet she is. Well, there seems to be a divide. On the one hand, you've got the gung-ho brigade who'll do anything laparoscopically, and then there's the others who run a mile at the mention of the word.
Well, I'm not one of those.
Excellent.
However, a hiatus hernia isn't exactly the procedure I would have thought laparoscopic technique was designed for.
But it's feasible.
Good. Very much enjoyed your article in the BMJ last month.
Oh, you subscribe?
No, doing some research.
Into?
You.
Well, there's no need to get into the robe just now. The operation won't be for some time yet.
I've put a lot of time and effort into this. I really don't want an 8-inch scar ruining the effect.
Right. Well, point made.
Well, that was fun.
Not the word I'd use.
Who is she?
A patient.
No, that was a sideshow, and I've got better things to do than play chaperone.
She's married to one of our trustees.
I don't care if she's the Queen of Sheba.
Our chairman, in fact.
That woman is married to Terence Cunningham.
Look, I know you shy away from hospital politics, or like to think that you do, but this really is a golden opportunity.
Yeah, and I have a list full of patients, real ones.
Then explain to them that the director of surgery has requested your help.
Henrik, I am not playing this game.
I beg your pardon?
You say jump, I say how high.
I'm giving you a chance to make an impression.
Well, maybe I don't need you to give me chances anymore. There are plenty of registrars who would kill to assist you in surgery.
I don't need other registrars. I need someone good.
Greg is just as good as I am, and he could do with a break.
I seem to remember my last experience with Mr. Douglas. It turned particularly ugly.
Well, he's been going through a tough time, and last week was particularly difficult.
Something I should know about?
My relationship with Greg is based on trust. Now, that may be an alien concept to you, but to me, it actually means something.
Ms. Shah is busy in Theatre 2. Miss Naylor's on leave, so yes, it's just Mr. Douglas who's available.
Did I hear my name?
Laparoscopic hiatus hernia. Female patient. I need a registrar to assist. Have you performed the procedure before, Mr. Douglas?
Not keyhole.
Well, come prepared.
Henrik! Another protege.
Miss Shah was called away elsewhere. This is Mr. Douglas.
You can call me Greg.
Oh, with that accent, you can call me any time. Sligo.
Dublin.
Any Celt's a good Celt in my book.
A woman after my own heart.
Listen to us go on, it'll make Henrik jealous.
Oh, I don't mind, really.
You're feeling lost without your protege?
Shall we? OK, we have a nice clear view.
So, good friend of yours?
An acquaintance. The upper 2 centimetres of the great curve of the stomach has now been dissected.
An acquaintance. She certainly seems to want to get well acquainted with you.
Mr. Douglas, please.
Sorry.
Right. You can now see the anterior aspect. In future, I would appreciate it if you keep such speculations to yourself.
I know I wasn't your first choice for this. I can understand why. Is that what's going on?
Have you ever heard of Diplocarpon rosea? It's a fungus, a blight that attacks roses. So you can spend years nurturing, caring for, protecting your rose bush. And then suddenly, one day along comes Diplocarpon rosea, and soon enough your rose wilts. It only takes one spore. Don't suppose you grow roses, do you, Mr. Douglas?
No.
I do. They're precious to me. You've got a bleed. Give some more fluids to get some blood, please.
BP's dropping.
Are you all right, Mr. Douglas?
Give me a minute.
More fluids, please. But if you're not all
I'm
right...
trying to do this, just let me concentrate.
Right, that's it. Let's remove the instruments gently, please.
What are you doing?
Changing to open surgery.
She doesn't want that.
Well, otherwise she might die. Step aside, Mr. Douglas.
No.
Look, I know you're going through a difficult patch. It happens to us all, but this will be the moment to step aside. I can carry on from here.
Who told you that?
Mr. Douglas, last week you allowed your emotional baggage to spill over onto one of my wards. Swabs and suction.
I said, who told you that?
Your career's already on shaky ground. Insubordination will not help. Please leave the theatre, Mr. Douglas.
I don't have to ask.
Get me a knife, please. Right, now, come on. Concentrate, everybody. Retractors. I said retractors. Pay attention, please. Good, thank you. Come on. Come on, thank you. Focus. Miss Shah,
Is there anything I can do?
your job. I need your help. Please.
Right. I'll scrub in. More suction.
I can see the bleed coming from...
Vascular adhesion. We're going to need...
Roberts, 3O Vicryl, please. BP's climbing. Well done. We're almost back on track. Diathermy, please. Thank you. That's disappointing.
And you need to separate it out.
And risk even more uncontrolled bleeding.
We could try a flexible bronchoscope.
That's ingenious. That's an elegant solution to a very inelegant problem.
Thank you.
Flexible
Flexible
bronchoscope, please. So nice to have you in here.
Try telling that to Miss Giles.
I don't know what you mean.
It seemed to me like she wanted your devoted attention. Don't tell me you didn't pick up on it.
Pick up on what?
She was flirting with you, Henrik. You do know what flirting is, don't you?
I did wonder when she took her clothes off.
Henrik, we need to talk.
Yes, of course. Well, there are a few complications, and Mr. Douglas's behaviour will be dealt with, of course. But all in all, it was a big success. Unfortunately, we had to carry out an open procedure, and this will mean a longer recovery period.
What are you talking about?
Your wife.
Oh, right. Right, we've been divorced for years.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about Ella. Anyway, the meeting today. It was a little bit more significant than we anticipated.
Right.
It's not official, but I thought I'd better give you the heads up. All cardiothoracic procedures are going to be transferred to St. James's within the next 6 weeks.
But the consultation period hasn't come to an end yet.
Not officially, but decisions have been made. Sir Fraser is pushing for trust status as soon as possible, and the closure of CT sends out a clear message that we are getting our finances under control.
It also means that we lose most of our talented surgeons.
Yeah, in one department, Henrik. Let's not get this out of perspective.
Yes, a department which has some of our very best.
I am just the messenger. I have absolutely no influence over these decisions.
Right. Yeah, of course. Diplocarpon rosea.
I beg your pardon?
Blight.
I thought I'd dealt with an outbreak earlier, but it seems the infestation was larger than I thought.